Good morning. This is Mark Nejma. Today is March 19th, and today is supposedly the big day for Endo International conclusion of its bankruptcy. I disagree. I don't think there's going to be a conclusion today of the bankruptcy. I think there'll be more conversation about objections from some of the bigger players. There may even be some stockholder representation, uh, but this is not going to get settled. Remember, the plan was just resubmitted yesterday, a new version. And I think a new version will continue coming out until, as I said before, the Supreme Court rules on the Purdue situation where they claim that they don't have further liability. Why would Endo uh, want to see this end if that conclusion regarding the Supreme Court and the Purdue bankruptcy was still out there? I don't think they would want to do that. On the other hand, regarding this situation with opioids, you know, sometimes we forget things uh, in life, but this one thing I was remembering last night. I knew a guy when I lived in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, that used to carry a bag around. He was a former Air Force guy and a pretty tough guy. Uh, and for some reason, he kind of hung around me and always wanted to kind of like protect me or just be around me. But in that bag, I do believe he had opioids. And when I was out at different clubs dancing and having a good time, the guy would always have his bag around him. Uh, I'm pretty sure he was selling opioids. And, you know, that's a terrible thing. Terrible thing. I never got involved with any type of drugs at all, but I'm pretty sure this guy was doing the wrong thing. I also knew an attorney that had a number of opioids, and they didn't want to get rid of them because the comment they made was like, "Oh no, you can get X amount of dollars for each one of these. People are always looking for them." Now this was an attorney, and the other guy was an Air Force uh, person that retired. You know, this was prevalent in our society where people got addicted to these opioids, and some of them may still be addicted if they have enough money to keep their habit going. So I think that this case is really something that we should think about, how it has affected society, how many people have died over this. And that's wrong. So for the government to make their settlement with Endo is appropriate. And it's not just about drug addicts. It's about our society and how susceptible we are because we have this attitude that, we should catch a buzz. Sort of like what happens in the stock market, right? We feel like we're entitled to get money from high risk, right? So if Endo, being a bankrupt company and we've invested in it and it's such high risk, isn't it similar to taking that risk on getting that high? I mean, you know that things can really go bad, and yet you do it anyway. As a stockholder, I hope that things work out for me, and I get paid for my stock. But really, looking at this situation with this opioid crisis, uh, does this solve the problem? I'm not sure. But I do know that, unfortunately, the war is being won by whoever puts out these drugs into our society, or the war is being lost by our attitude about just getting high or just finding a solution outside of what's within ourselves to just be happy. Let's see what happens. Let's hope that the shenanigans on StockTwits stops. But really think about what this is really all about and whether or not this solves the opioid crisis or not. We see our cities, we talk now about fentanyl, but it seems like if we were going to define what the problem of the homeless situation is, we'd probably have to go back to the opioid crisis. Many of these people are on the street, lost and just getting high, maybe because it all started back, in the 1990s and 2000s, and with the guy with the bag, that was at clubs and stuff. My God, it's a horrible situation. If you go to any city, anywhere actually in the world, uh, you'll see homeless people endlessly. Not to say that mental illness does not have an equal amount of effect that opioids did, but if we're going to take care of society, we have to come up with something much better than just fines for company. We have to really come up with a solution of how we treat each other. So good luck to everybody today, but you know I don't think this is going to solve anything in terms of the opioid crisis. I think that's all within ourselves. Um, but I don't think this is getting settled today. This is Mark from newsweed.com. I enjoy the love and the hate that I get from everywhere, and have a great day.